Joe St. Francois. I say that right? Joe is a frequent commenter. Joe's one of the people that watches all of our Psalms teaching videos, by the way, and I always appreciate it. And Joe is not a believer, and that's why he says, I know your theology is different, but what do you think of the scholarship of Bart Ehrman? Great question. I just talked with Dr. Kurt Jaros. So if you missed the episode where Kurt Jaros and I had a discussion about apologetics, at the beginning of that, we talked all about Bart Ehrman. Kurt is a defender of Bart Ehrman, not because he believes what Ehrman believes, but because he thinks evangelicals misinterpret or misquote Bart Ehrman. So Kurt Jaros over at Veracity Hill, that's his YouTube channel, Veracity Hill, he actually has a series all about getting Bart Ehrman's arguments right and taking other apologists to task for misquoting Bart Ehrman. And we talked about that on the video. So watch that video if you missed it. Personally, Bart Ehrman, he's a New Testament professor at UNC Chapel Hill. He's sort of a media darling over the past 20 years or so. He was a fundamentalist, conservative Christian. I think he went to Moody, and he either went to Moody or Wheaton, one for Bible college, one for seminary. Then I think he went and did graduate work at Princeton under Bruce Metzger. Bruce Metzger was one of the foremost New Testament textual critics of the 20th century. Bruce Metzger, to my knowledge, was Orthodox in his Christian faith, and he was Ehrman's mentor. Ehrman left his faith, and part of it was he thought there are too many mistakes in the New Testament manuscripts to warrant belief in the teachings of the New Testament. So he became, I don't know if he'd say he's atheist, he's agnostic, not exactly sure what. My take on Bart Ehrman is his book, Misquoting Jesus. I won't pull it out, but it's right here behind Batman, Misquoting Jesus. It's a great book if you want to understand the practice of text criticism, like how text critical scholars sift through variants and manuscripts and all of that. It's a great introduction. I just disagree with almost all of his conclusions. In other words, he's looking at the same stuff because he did his doctoral work under Bruce Metzger. They're looking at the same texts and the same text critical issues. It's just, do you approach it from a perspective of, I believe that what this is talking about is true, it happened, or I don't believe it. And that's not a textual issue. That's a faith issue. That's a philosophical issue. So Ehrman, I think he makes some good points. I think he's right. He takes people to task when they deny the historicity of Jesus, like a lot of these internet skeptics. Well, we don't even know Jesus existed. And Ehrman's like, no, you have to be an idiot to not think Jesus existed. He's one of the most well-documented human beings in human history. So I think he does some good things, but yeah, theologically, he's not a believer. So his conclusions, I obviously disagree with. I don't think you should trust him for anything about the faith of Christianity. I think you can listen to him and weigh his arguments when it comes to things like manuscripts and variants and things like that. But even then, there's a lot of leeway. So that was a really good question.